You were just saying how incredibly frustrating this is before we hit record. And it's honestly the perfect place to start.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because, okay, picture this. You're prepping for a massive meeting, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you upload this huge 100-page financial document to an AI.
Right, because nobody has time to read the whole thing.
Exactly. So you ask it a crucial high-stakes question. It spits back this brilliant-sounding answer.
Yeah.
You feel like a genius until you actually double-check the math. And you realize the AI completely fabricated the core revenue number.
Oh, man.
It just invented it out of thin air. It's maddening.
Yeah, it really is. Beat. Welcome to the deep dive. I'll admit something right up front here. I still wrestle with prompt drift myself.
Oh, we all do.
You trust the system, you get comfortable with it, and then it suddenly hallucinates on your own carefully collected data. It's a very modern kind of betrayal.
That is the perfect word for it, betrayal.
2 secs silence. Today we are exploring a real structural solution to this. We're breaking down the April 2026 update.
The big...
Right. This is the update that finally combined Gemini and NotebookLM into a single, unbreakable workflow.
Yeah, it changed everything.
We're going to explore how to build a genuinely trusted knowledge base. We'll look at how to pull in outside research without, corrupting your data.
Which is key.
And we'll see how to automate the entire loop. But let's unpack the divide first.
Let's do it. Because Gemini and NotebookLM, they were really designed to solve 2 entirely different problems.
Right.
And understanding that difference is exactly why pairing them works so well. You really have to understand both halves of the brain, basically, before you wire them together.
That makes sense. We need to look at their core mechanics. So let's start with Gemini.
Okay, so Gemini is your window to the world. It has live web access.
Mm-hmm.
It pulls in breaking news that didn't even exist during its original training. And it also reaches directly into your Google Workspace.
Which saves a ton of time.
Oh, tons.
Yeah.
It reads from your Docs, your Drive, Gmail, Sheets. You don't have to copy and paste anything.
Right.
And it has long-term memory, meaning it gradually learns your specific industry jargon over time.
Mm-hmm. But it has a structural flaw, right? Especially when it comes to precision work.
Exactly. It operates from general knowledge first. So if you ask it a highly specific question about your uploaded documents, it answers with absolute, unwavering confidence.
But it drifts.
Yes. A wrong decimal slips in. A mixed up date suddenly appears.
Because it's trying to be helpful.
Right. Because of how large language models work. It fills any gaps in your document with its broad training data.
So it's like a brilliant but highly distractible researcher.
I like that.
They're sitting there with a smartphone connected to the entire internet. They're incredibly smart. But they inevitably lose focus on the physical document right in front of them.
That is a perfect analogy. Yes. Now, NotebookLM is the complete opposite of that.
Okay.
It's an enclosed ecosystem. It strictly answers from the documents you specifically upload.
Only what you give it.
Exactly. You drop in a PDF or a slide deck or a spreadsheet, every single sentence it generates comes straight from that material.
It cites it, right.
Right. It proves it. It gives you exact, clickable citations.
So if Gemini is the distractible researcher, NotebookLM is like a strict old-school librarian.
Ah, yes.
They only point to physical pages inside the room. If it's not in the room, it just doesn't exist. They absolutely refuse to look out the window.
That's exactly it. But, that exact strictness is also its biggest weakness.
Because it's isolated.
Right. It knows absolutely nothing about the outside world. If you ask it about a competitor's press release from, this morning, it has nothing to offer you.
Yeah.
The rigid accuracy that makes it so reliable also entirely limits its reach.
So we had the brilliant researcher and the strict librarian, and they were isolated. But the April 2026 update built a bridge.
It sure did.
It integrated NotebookLM directly into Gemini's side panel. So now they operate as one connected workflow.
Right. NotebookLM holds your trusted source material, and Gemini searches outside that material when you need broader context.
And then those external findings get routed back into NotebookLM.
Exactly. Your knowledge base keeps growing, but the strict boundary remains completely intact.
Beat. This integration is profound, but it makes me wonder, does this unified system make the standalone versions of these tools completely obsolete?
Not entirely, no. I mean, if you just need a rapid summary of a web article, standalone Gemini is still faster.
Right.
And if you're studying a dense textbook and want zero distractions, standalone NotebookLM is perfect. But for deep professional knowledge work, The hybrid workflow is absolutely the new standard.
So integration elevates both, but doesn't erase their standalone value.
Exactly.
So we know why we need this connected brain, but if you feed it garbage, it's going to hallucinate anyway.
100%.
Let's talk about the foundation. How do we build this moat without corrupting it?
Well, everything hinges on what you put into NotebookLM first. If you skip this setup phase, the entire loop just collapses.
Right.
Rule number 1 is absolute. You need one notebook per project. You must never mix topics.
Humans have a natural tendency to hoard data, though.
We really do.
We love to dump everything into one giant folder. We throw marketing metrics right next to HR strategies.
Yeah, and that's a disaster.
Explain the actual mechanism here. Why does data hoarding break the AI's accuracy?
It comes down to semantic search.
Let's define that really quick. Semantic search is finding information based on meaning rather than exact keyword matches.
Perfect. So the AI doesn't read like we do, right? It turns words into mathematical relationships.
Okay.
If you put HR data about a readiness gap next to marketing data about a readiness gap, the system grabs both because they share buzzwords.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it blends them together. You get a hallucinated, blended answer that is mathematically logical but factually totally useless. You have to keep the boundary tight.
Let's ground this a bit. Walk me through a concrete example.
Okay, imagine we're building a hypothetical notebook today. We'll title it, The State of Organizations 2026, the Agentic AI Transformation.
And let's define that term, too. Agentic AI is AI that takes independent actions to achieve a specific goal.
Exactly. So this notebook holds exactly 10 sources. You've got a dense Cisco PDF report, a Stanford research summary, a highly technical ArcGIS study, and a McKinsey strategy report. Every single file stays strictly focused on one topic: how organizations must adapt to AI.
So no unrelated quarterly earnings,
Right.
no random marketing decks.
Nothing like that.
It processes a huge variety of formats now, doesn't
Oh,
it?
yeah. It digests PDFs, Google Docs, slide decks, and complex spreadsheets.
Wow.
And it also accepts live websites, YouTube videos, and raw audio files.
All in the same notebook?
All in the same notebook. It
Yeah.
synthesizes across every format simultaneously. You can literally ask it to compare a statistical claim in a McKinsey PDF against an offhand comment made in a YouTube interview.
That is wild. There are still limits on the free tier, though, right?
Right, yeah. The free tier gives you 50 sources per notebook. You get 50 queries a day and 3 audio overviews.
Which is pretty generous.
It's usually plenty for a single project. But power users on the Plus, Pro, or Ultra tiers bump that up to 100, 300, or 600 sources.
Okay, so our moat is built. We have 10 pristine documents. How do we actually interrogate this data? I don't want to just ask it, what does this say?
Right, you want to go deeper.
Yeah. Walk me through the query workflow.
So step 1 is the overview phase. You explicitly tell it. Summarize the main argument of each source in this notebook. Give me 1 sentence per source with a citation.
Okay.
This builds a high-level map of your data.
You're basically forcing it to read the room before you ask detailed questions.
Exactly. You're making it show its work. Then step 2 is the narrow down. You avoid broad, lazy questions like, how will AI affect jobs?
Too generic.
Way too generic. Instead, you get surgical. You say, compare what the Cisco report and McKinsey report say about the leadership readiness gap. Quote, specific percentages.
Oh, nice.
This forces the AI to ignore the other 8 documents and pull data strictly from 2 specific named sources.
Ita, I'm guessing step 3 is where it gets genuinely analytical.
Oh, yeah. Step 3 is hunting for friction. You ask for disagreements. You type, among these 10 sources, who predicts a wildly different timeline for total job replacement? It scans the entire vector space at once. It finds exactly where the experts collide.
That's fascinating. But what happens when the data itself is fundamentally broken? Like, what if Cisco and McKinsey flatly contradict each other on a crucial metric?
Well, you don't try to force a resolution. You ask the AI to map the contradiction.
Okay.
You tell it. Explain why Cisco and McKinsey reach different conclusions based on their distinct research methodologies. The friction itself becomes your most valuable insight.
Preserve the conflict to let the AI map the debate.
You nailed it. Sponsor read goes here.
So we've established our walled garden. We've exhausted what's inside our uploaded documents. We understand the internal friction. But business doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? A competitor could drop a massive press release this morning, and my walled garden would be completely blind to it.
Totally blind.
How do we reach out into the live web without letting the hallucinations back in?
This is where the workflow gets really elegant. This is step 3, bringing Gemini into the loop for outside research.
Okay.
NotebookLM deliberately stops at the edge of your files. The moment your question requires fresh, external context, Gemini takes the wheel using a feature called deep research.
Push back on that for a second.
Yeah.
How is deep research actually different from just asking Gemini to run a quick Google search?
It's a completely different underlying mechanism.
Yeah.
I mean, a standard search just pulls the top few results and summarizes them, right?
Yeah.
Deep research acts like an actual human analyst. It plans a multi-step search strategy. It runs those queries.
Wow.
It clicks into the links, reads the long-form text, evaluates the credibility, and then synthesizes it all. And it returns a highly structured, comprehensively cited report.
We're finally combining the strict librarian with the web researcher.
Exactly.
Let's talk about how this practically works. The single chat loop seems to be the crucial breakthrough of this April 2026 update.
It really is. It's this magic 25-minute workflow. The friction used to be jumping between tabs, right?
Oh, constantly.
Now you stay in one single chat window, you open Gemini, you click the plus button, and you attach your carefully curated notebook.
Okay, so I'm looking at the blank text box. What's the first question in the loop?
Question 1 is strictly internal. You ask the notebook to establish the baseline. You type, based solely on our uploaded docs, what is the internal readiness gap for our company?
Got it.
NotebookLM answers, providing strict, clickable citations.
So you have your anchor. Then, without leaving that specific chat window, you shift gears.
Right. You move to question 2. You hit the deep research button right there in the chat, and you ask it to look at the wider world. You say, run deep research on how this specific readiness gap is manifesting across our top 3 competitors this quarter. Gemini goes out, does the heavy lifting, and comes back with a structured report from the live web.
And then question 3 is where the real knowledge work happens.
Yes, the synthesis. Because both previous answers are still active in the chat's memory, you simply type, based on our internal documents and the external industry research you just found, what are the top 2 strategic moves leadership must make right now?
Wow.
Gemini weaves the internal constraints with the external realities. You don't copy, paste, or summarize anything yourself.
2-sec silence. That reliance on active memory is incredible. We should clarify a concept here. A context window is how much text an AI can remember at one time.
Good call.
The top-tier models now support windows reaching 1 to 2 million tokens.
Which is just massive.
Whoa. Imagine scaling to 1 million tokens. It takes me a full weekend to deeply read and synthesize one dense textbook. The idea of holding an entire decade of corporate history in active working memory, it fundamentally breaks how we think about human expertise.
It is staggering. I mean, it really is. But you do have to manage it carefully.
How so?
Well, the system overhead in the regular app eats up a chunk of that space. Processing a few complex reports is flawless. But if you try to cram like 5 years of raw financial ledgers into one chat, the AI will start quietly trimming the edges of its memory.
It loses things. What about workspace integration during this loop? Because my company's knowledge isn't just in pristine PDFs. It's scattered across chaotic email threads.
And that's the beauty of it. You can be in that same chat and say, check my Gmail, and drive for any scattered notes from the last 3 months mentioning agentic AI.
Really? In the same chat?
Yes. It reads your messy email threads. It pulls context from meeting summaries. It maps your chaotic reality against the pristine research.
Then, crucially, you don't just leave that deep research sitting in the chat history.
Never. You click Add to Notebook right on that external report.
Oh, I see.
That fresh web research becomes a permanent, cited source inside your NotebookLM walled garden. Your local knowledge base continually evolves.
It's a delicate balance, though. If I keep dumping web research into my notebook, doesn't that risk contaminating our pristine internal data?
Only if you get lazy with your prompting.
Okay.
You have to clearly instruct the AI to contrast the internal data against the external data. If you just ask for a generic summary, the sheer volume of external web data can absolutely drown out the nuances of your specific local files.
External data adds context, but local files remain the ultimate anchor.
That's exactly how you have to treat it.
So doing this 25-minute loop once is brilliant. But if I have to set up the persona, define the tone, and attach the notebook from scratch every Tuesday morning, it becomes a nightmare.
Oh, it's exhausting.
This brings us to step 5, making it systemic.
Yes. The blank slate is the enemy of productivity. Every time you open a new Gemini chat, it forgets who you are.
Right.
You have to re-explain that you're a senior analyst. You have to tell it to be concise. You have to manually link the notebook again. It's a massive source of friction.
Enter automation. Enter gems.
Gems are the ultimate fix. A gem is a custom specialist persona that lives inside Gemini.
Okay.
It permanently remembers its specific role across an infinite number of chats. And most importantly, you can permanently tie a gem to a specific NotebookLM project.
So let's say I build a strategy analyst gem. What does that actually look like under the hood?
Well, you configure it once. You tie it directly to your agentic AI notebook. You give it strict instructions. Always prioritize the notebook data. Always back up your claims with exact citations. Always highlight potential regulatory risks.
Wow.
From then on, you just click the gem, and it's instantly ready to work.
I don't want to just copy and paste from a chat window all day, though. Where does the output actually go?
It pushes directly into your workflow. A synthesized strategy report goes straight into a formatted Google Doc.
That's
A
convenient.
table comparing competitor metrics updates a live Google Sheet. A list of action items becomes a drafted follow-up email right inside your Gmail inbox.
And there's a fascinating Google Meet integration now, too, right?
Yeah, this is a game changer. Gemini inside Google Meet can catch you up on the first 20 minutes of a meeting you missed. It extracts the action items.
That alone is huge.
Right. But here's the best part. It reads your Google Drive to learn your team's specific writing style. Over time, the memos it drafts actually sound like your specific corporate culture, not a generic robot.
This completely shifts the human role. For decades, we've been information gatherers. We scoured databases.
Yeah.
We copy-pasted metrics. We assembled the raw materials.
Yeah, the busy work.
Now, we are systems architects. We build the trusted knowledge base. We define the parameters of the persona. We set the ethical boundaries.
Yeah.
The machine executes the gathering. It fundamentally changes what it means to work.
It elevates the work. You're finally spending your time thinking rather than endlessly searching.
But systems evolve. If my team finishes a new quarterly report and I drop that new PDF into the underlying notebook, does the gem automatically know? Or do I have to retrain it?
You don't touch a thing.
Really?
The gem acts as a lens. It is constantly looking at the current state of the notebook. If you drop a new PDF in today, the gem will seamlessly include that fresh data in its answers tomorrow.
The gem automatically updates its understanding when your local data changes.
That's it, exactly.
We've covered a massive amount of ground today. We navigated the structural divide between strict citation and broad web research. We built a trusted moat. We reached outside the walls using deep research. And we automated the entire system. Can you distill the core philosophy of this deep dive for us?
I'd say the core philosophy is simple. Stop app switching. Use NotebookLM as your trusted, deeply cited anchor. It holds the absolute facts you verified. Use Gemini as your scout. It runs out to the live web, grabs fresh intelligence, and brings it back to the anchor. Run that entire operation in one single, focused, 25-minute chat loop.
The single loop.
Exactly. And once you perfect that loop, set it in stone by building a gem. Stop starting from zero every single day, build the system once, and let it do the heavy lifting for you.
It's an incredibly powerful paradigm shift. We are moving away from confident AI guesses toward verifiable, automated truth. But it leaves me with a final thought for you to chew on.
Okay.
If we can now effortlessly build personalized, cited, hallucination-free AI analysts for every single project, how does that change what we fundamentally value in human intelligence?
Ooh, that's a big question.
What happens to our culture when having the right answer is easy, cheap, and instantaneous? Perhaps in a world where answers are fully automated, the only thing that truly matters anymore is our ability to ask the right question.
Wow.
2-sec silence. I highly encourage you to pick just one real-world project this week. Set up a 10-source notebook. Run the 3-step single chat loop for yourself. See how it changes the way you think about your own work, out to your own music.